They called him Ghost long before anyone officially acknowledged that he existed. No photograph ever surfaced. No service record could be found. His name never appeared in after-action reports or official dispatches. And yet, among American soldiers fighting deep in Europe, Ghost was spoken of with the same certainty as hunger, fear, and death. He was not a legend born after the war. He was a presence during it. The first whispers began quietly, passed between exhausted infantrymen huddled in foxholes as the night swallowed the front line. They spoke of a soldier who moved ahead of patrols without orders, without backup, and without leaving tracks. A man who vanished into fog and shadow and returned only indirectly through the aftermath he left behind. Entire enemy positions neutralized, silent bunkers, trenches cleared without a single American casualty. When asked who led the attack, no one could answer. Ghost was not known for heroics shouted over the radio. He was known for silence. Men noticed strange patterns. Patrols would move through enemy territory and return, missing one soldier. Not wounded, not dead, simply gone. There were no signs of struggle, no blood trails, no shell craters. Just an empty space where Ghost had been moments before. Command assumed desertion at first. Fear does that to armies. But fear did not explain what followed. Hours later, German positions along the same route would go quiet. Machine gun nests abandoned. Forward observers missing. Radios left transmitting static into the dark. Sometimes, enemy soldiers were found alive, sitting against trees or bunker walls, trembling, their eyes wide and unfocused. When questioned, they gave the same answer. They never saw the attacker. They only heard him, footsteps behind them where no one should have been. Breathing close enough to feel. The sound of equipment shifting in the dark. A presence moving through smoke without making a sound. Survivors described the sensation not as combat, but as being hunted by something that already knew where they would fall. American officers dismissed the stories. War erodes the mind. Stress creates monsters. That was the official explanation. But the reports continued. Different units, different sectors, same descriptions, same name, spoken only at night. Ghost. As winter deepened, the sightings intensified. Fog rolled across the forests and fields, thick enough to erase distance and direction. That was when Ghost was seen most often, or rather, sensed. Soldiers claimed they felt him pass by, a shift in the air, a sudden stillness. Rifles jammed without explanation. Radios failed. Dogs refused to move forward. One night, a full platoon was ordered to locate Ghost. High command wanted answers. The area was a forest near the front line, recently contested and poorly mapped. Ghost had last been reported moving through it alone. The platoon advanced cautiously, visibility reduced to a few meters. The forest felt wrong. Sound behaved strangely. Footsteps echoed when they shouldn't. Silence pressed in when it shouldn't exist. They never found Ghost. They found the forest instead. Trees were splintered. The ground was torn apart as if by close-range explosives. German weapons lay scattered, abandoned, some still loaded, others bent beyond use. There were bodies, too many. Enemy soldiers killed at close range, some with gunshot wounds, others without visible injuries at all. Faces frozen in expressions of shock rather than pain. Near the center of the clearing, barely visible beneath falling snow, was a message carved into the mud with something sharp. Already gone. The platoon withdrew before dawn. None of them spoke during the return. Several requested reassignment. One was later confined after insisting Ghost had walked past him during the night, stopping close enough to whisper his name. By morning, Ghost was officially listed as missing in action. By nightfall, German radio transmissions reported disturbances along another sector of the front. Unexplained losses. Units refusing to advance. Soldiers claiming something moved through their lines without resistance or warning. American intelligence intercepted the messages and dismissed them as panic. The men at the front did not dismiss them. Some believed Ghost was an elite soldier, trained beyond normal limits, operating outside command structure. Others believed he had been killed early in the war and continued fighting anyway. A few believed Ghost was not a man at all, but the war itself, wearing a uniform and carrying the rifle.
No one ever confirmed the truth. After the war, archives were reviewed. No ghost was found. No unit ever officially deployed such a soldier. No medal was awarded. No grave marked his name. The story faded into obscurity, dismissed as trench folklore. But veterans told a different story. They said that on certain nights, when the battlefield grew quiet and the wind moved just right, you could still hear footsteps where no one walked. They said some wars never truly end for those who fight them, and that sometimes the soldiers who vanish do not leave the war behind. Officially, Ghost never existed. Unofficially, some ghosts are still at war.